Hey guys, welcome back to another Thursday Rough Cut. For this one, we're going to be comparing two very budget full-size handguns, 9mm both. We're going to talk about a few of the features on them, why you might choose one over the other. We've got the Walther Creed against the Canik TP9, in this case the SF version of the TP9. There's lots of other versions. This is one of the most readily available ones right now and very affordable. So we're going to talk about some of the background of these guns, why you would be, again, interested in one versus the other. And if you want to see some shooting footage, what you're going to need to do is go to look at this gun's review or as well as look at that gun's review, because what I'm doing with the Rough Cut is going to try to make this as basic and simple as possible so that you're just getting opinions, and all that is backed up in previous videos. So again, visit the review on this gun and on that gun to see shooting footage and more. Now, let's get into some of the details, some of the specs on these two guns. First, what are you going to use these guns for? In my opinion, these are great range guns, training guns, learning guns, sharing with your friends kind of guns, guns to dedicate to kits and or to secure locations because of the inexpensiveness of them both. We're looking at roughly around the same price tag on these two guns. This one's been seen for what, $329, $350, and the Walther Creed right around that. Extremely low cost guns. And so for that reason, again, great choices for sort of dedicating to locations that you want to have accessible. So what are some of the other features on these guns that make them comparable? Well, both 9mm, obviously. We've got Picatinny rails on both, so the ability to mount lights to each one. Obviously, this one's in a desert tan, but it also comes in black, so we're going to call that a wash. Ergonomically, they are nearly on par in my opinion. I enjoy shooting the Canik more. I'll tell you that right now. Something about sort of the bore axis is probably what it is, makes this to me a more comfortable shooter, an easier gun to shoot, in that way a funner gun to shoot. When it comes to the Walther Creed, we just have some slight bore axis issues with it, slightly heavy on top as compared with the rest of the gun. And so it's not quite as fun to shoot, but I got to tell you, if I had never tried this, I would love this gun completely. I just absolutely love it. Same goes with the trigger. I guess I slightly prefer the Canik's trigger. That is a striker-fired trigger. I like the reset and take up on it just a little bit more. Yeah, just a little bit more, but again, if I had never tried that trigger and all I had was this one, I'm always surprised by how good it is. I would love the trigger on this gun just as much if I had never tried this or any other triggers, really. So triggers, I almost on par, give a slight edge to this one. Now, other features, takedown. Both super simple. In the case of the Canik, pull the trigger, pull these two slide tabs down. I guess you don't actually need to pull the slide back at all. Just pull those tabs down, slides right off. Takedown from there, super easy. Filthy gun, as you can tell, but that's okay. Shoot it. Takedown again on the Canik, super easy. Takedown on the Creed, also very easy. Lock it back to here, rotate that. This is a little bit harder to do. You get the hang of it, it's super easy, but I can see, smaller hands that aren't so strong, having kind of a difficult time with that little takedown lever right there. I could definitely see that. And that's how that comes down. That's it. So super easy to clean in both cases, easy to maintain in both cases. Hard to give an edge to one or the other in that regard. Sights. I believe the sights on the Creed here are, I don't know if they're replaceable, to be honest. I don't know if you can get aftermarket sights for the Creed. My guess would be no, just based on looking at them and based on the fact that it's a very budget handgun. I hope I'm wrong on that. Correct me in the comment section if you know that I am. But assuming they are not replaceable, that's maybe the one downside to the sights on the Creed. We do know that the Canik, at least the TP9 SF, does take different sights. In this case, we have a set of big dot sights on here. And these are actually more or less prototype sights that they've put together for the Canik TP9 SF that they've invited me to try out. So I've been shooting them for a little while now. I like them quite a lot. They're very different from your standard 3-dot sights, and very much more of a kind of battle sight, a quick acquisition battle sight rather than, something for extreme accuracy. However, I guess I would give the edge to the TP9 there because we do have sights that are completely replaceable. You can see that slides out right there, and so does that. Slight edge to the TP9 in that regard. Capacity also goes to the TP9, 18 rounds plus 1, 16 rounds plus 1. So definitely we have, an advantage with this gun here. As far as, this is another huge one. The Canik TP9 comes with a holster, right? A holster. It's a kind of a Serpa ripoff, so definitely cheap, but also completely usable if you're taking it to range, again, for some training or whatever. It's a totally usable holster, and it comes with the gun. So you more or less got all the kit you need for at least a good while when you get into a TP9, and you don't really need to think about how you're going to holster or use this gun in going forward. I believe the back strap right here is replaceable. It comes with an additional one to fatten that and make it a little bigger for larger hands if you want that. No adjustability of that sort on the Creed. Even so, fits everybody's hands so well. Everybody I know that's tried it loves the ergonomics on it, and I don't think it necessarily needs any adjustment there. Also kind of cooler looking in regards to that. A little more, kind of finger swells right there. That's possibly why it's so ergonomic feeling. The mag release, nice and big on that. Big enough on the TP9 as well. I've never had any issues with it. So I think we've covered a lot of just kind of the general features on these two guns. Let's talk about why you might choose the German-made one over the Turkish-made one. And here's a kind of a politically charged issue, if I've ever had one. I get these comments probably at least once a week, probably more often than that. Anytime this gun is mentioned, the Canik guns or any other Turkish guns are mentioned, there's always politics brought up into it. I'd never buy something like that from Turkey because of this reason and that reason. Look, I'm not going to object to your objections. I'm simply not. If you don't want to buy it because it comes from Turkey, that is 100% up to you. And I'll let you go ahead and do that, man. You reject whatever you want to reject for whatever reason you want to reject it. It's your freedom to do that. More power to you. The only thing I'll say about that is that I know guys who are on the ground in that situation. The situation is far more complex than you probably believe it is. That's all I'm going to say about that. And I'm not speaking from my experience. Obviously, I don't know. I haven't been there. But again, I've spoken to guys who have. They say it's really complex and it's kind of silly to make snap decisions like that. But once again, it's your decision. Do what you want to do. I, of course, bought the gun. This one, made in Germany. So, you got no problem with Germans or Germany or how things are going in Germany. Maybe that's a better gun for you to buy. I don't know if I should get into German politics right now and decisions being made over there. I think I'll skip it. We don't need to make this a geopolitical video. It really is about the quality of the guns, how they perform, how reliable they are, and which one you might choose. And in my opinion, these guns are kind of neck and neck. And the only reason I would say buy the Creed over the Canik is if you have some objections from a geopolitical standpoint. That would be a great reason to buy the Creed at a $350 price tag with very comparable features. I think this is about a 4-inch barrel, roughly 4.5-inch barrel, really comparable, and it comes from a country that you might like a little better. That's about it, guys. That's the comparison between the Walther Creed and the Canik TP9, in this case, the SF. Both really great guns. This one actually is going to go back to Walther. It's on loan right now, and so it's heading back really shortly. In fact, by the time you see this video, it'll probably be gone. However, I was very close to buying it. Decided to hold on to that money for some other stuff, but I still might look at this gun again in the future. It's that good, and everybody I know that's shot it agrees. All right, guys, thanks for sticking around and for tuning in for this. I was going to say Vlog Thursday, but I don't call them that anymore. What do I call them? Rough Cut. Thursday Rough Cut. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it was helpful to you. I'm Late Boy Scout. See you later.